You choose what you want to stick with. You build your skills around that. So I'm quite happy to have a wager with every single one of you around this table. I'm quite happy to bet money on this. Not one of us, including me, can guess the next Google or the next Facebook or the next Amazon or the next eBay from a technology perspective. Anyone want to bet me that they'll predict the next big win? Of course not. So why do we think we must lock ourselves into a specific answer when we know the answers are going to be wrong? You think Google is circa 10 years old. There's a big debate whether Google will be around in 10 years because Facebook are going to put a search engine on Facebook which has more users than Google. So who knows where we'll be in 10 years? So the moment you begin to bet a particular horse and say it must be X or Y, the moment you're taking a bet which may or may not come true. And I just think in technology terms nowadays, you just don't need to do that. So what it is, some centralized stuff. We don't care about the technology. What it's not is one big thing in the centre with all the flashing lights, and we take everything away from you as a government department because we think we know better. That's absolutely not the case. It's also not one cloud. G-Cloud in the middle, the big stuff, the common stuff. I need to explain some of this because this is for UK. DWP, top left, is our benefits department, our benefits ministry. So this gives housing benefits and benefits for children. HMRC, in terms of middle right, is our taxation department. Justice is a group of ministries from courts to prisons to police. London, it's about an area. So again, we don't say it must be ministry based, it could be geographically based. And of course, we're also not saying we won't use a Microsoft cloud or a Salesforce cloud or a Google cloud or an Amazon cloud. The only caveat I would put on this is that, and I said this morning, we worry about loss of life in government, which we wouldn't normally do if we were running a private sector business, which I run many private sector businesses. So I worry if someone's in a witness protection scheme that their personal details get out and someone wants to do harm to them. I worry that people's crime data gets out or their health data gets out. So when we are looking at using a third-party infrastructure, it doesn't matter who it is, we need to satisfy ourselves that it fulfills the security requirements of the UK government. And I'm sure you would be exactly the same in terms of your country. And of course, with people like Google, it's hugely impressive and sophisticated, but it decides where your data goes on a geographic basis. And if you're happy with that from a law perspective, fantastic. We're not. We want to know where the data is because we want to be able to make sure that we can protect that data. So again, it's not just as simple as some people say to me, let's all move everything to Google, let's move everything to Microsoft. That's fine, but there's some things that those can't do. So G-Cloud, not one thing. Okay, definition 23. Most people just think of G-Cloud or cloud computing as web-based services. You go online and you buy your book or you buy your groceries or whatever it happens to be. But if you think of that from a government perspective, many departments have different requirements. Some are very happy with their systems. They do what the citizen wants, they do what the government wants. They don't want to change their systems, they don't want to do it cheaper. So if you have to basically say, you must rebuild all your systems, they quite rightly say, no thank you. Some people say, actually, I want to basically have new systems, but I don't want infrastructure. So we talk about these 5 worlds, which basically is our definition 23, which says, if you just want to host your existing computer systems on a common infrastructure, fantastic. If you want to basically just use computers to test your new computer systems, but you don't want to buy any yourself, fantastic. So you use them, when you finish with them, you give them back. It's payment for you. It's typical cloud computing, you pay for it when you use it. It will do things like all our shared systems, payroll, HR, finance, identity and verification, all the things that are common will run on a common infrastructure. It makes sense. Then we have the traditional cloud definition, which is the web services. That's where it emanated from. Your service is in the cloud, it's a web service. That for us is only a small proportion of what one has. And one thing we're working at is this SME world. Many small organisations can't afford their own computer infrastructure to run their computer systems on. It's a barrier to them. They have to invest their own cash to put computer systems in to basically demonstrate what their solution will provide. So we're toying, this is not agreed by government, whether we can allow small and medium-sized organisations to use the government infrastructure to to basically provide services to government, but also to provide services